Hi, welcome to the channel. You are joining me in South Wales again. This time, as you would have seen, I'm not alone. At my brother tonight doing a wild camp somewhere in the Banau Breceniog, which is the old new name for Brecon Beacons National Park. We are currently walking around Us Reservoir. It's quite a big reservoir. It's going to be about 7 miles, I think, before we get to our hill we're going to camp on. Hopefully, at some point, it's going to stop raining and we're going to get some amazing views of the Black Mountain, which is where Llynnodanfa and Llynnodanfach lakes are and stuff. So we're not going to be on that ridgeway, we're going to be north of it, but hopefully we'll get some great views. So stick with me and let's see if we get any kind of sunset this evening. Just ticked over 5 miles. It is 10 to 7, so I think we've got another 2 to 3 miles left to go. So we've just gone around the arc of the longest part of the reservoir and we're heading back now towards the dam. And when we get to the dam, it should be a path off to our left taking us to the top of the hill we're going to camp on, so hopefully we'll get there before it's dark. Hasn't stopped raining yet, but it hasn't really got any heavier. It's just been a constant trickle of rain, not heavy enough to really warrant putting a hood on and getting too hot. So it's been absolutely still, not really a breath of wind, just the sound of raindrops and birdsong. So it has been very nice for it, and we've not seen a single person apart from 2 fishermen, so not a single person is out walking this loop today. We're 7¼ miles in now. The forestry over there is where we've come from. We've picked up this trail and walking away from the reservoir. And then you can see the hill there. It's not where we're going. If we follow the bright orange, we're going to turn up to the top of this ridgeway, break left, and then carry on over there for a little bit, and we should hit the trig point at some point. So it is 10 to 8. It's still raining very gently. but the sky's quite nice. The views as we rose up from the reservoir are really nice. Lots of dark blues and mists and distant mountains that you can see. So it has been a really good walk actually. Still haven't seen a single person apart from those two fishermen. But saying 7¼ miles in, my back, this pack is starting to feel quite heavy. I'm using my Mountain Warehouse 65 litre tour bag that I got for £10 on Facebook. So this is its first trip. So brave or stupid, trying it out for the first time on what is quite a substantial walk. I think I've got about 15 kilos of weight in there. I don't normally drink on a camp, but because I'm with my brother, I've got a couple of cans of cider, so when we do eventually pitch a tent, have a relaxing sit down with no pack on and have a couple of drinks, and hopefully the rain will clear out and we'll get some views of the Black Mountain. You can just see them in the mist over there now. We should have some really dramatic views in the morning if it has cleared up, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to try and get up for 6 AM sunrise if there's going to be one. But we really are in what feels like a bit of wilderness now. Doesn't feel like a very well visited place. As I always say, you know, people come and do the central mountains, these little foothills, you rarely see anybody, so they're great places to come and wild camp. And I have on good authority that there's lots of nice flat grassy pitches here, because I got someone on Instagram who's walked it and they sent me some photos, so I did my research. Anyway, not far to go now. I am desperate to get this bag off, so let's make some progress. I am so glad to see this trig point. Feels like it's been forever to get here. So that's the Black Mountain, just sort of hidden in cloud and fading off over there to the very westernmost part of the mountain range, and this Ridgeway walk continues over there. But we've got views in every direction, so the sunset is over there somewhere, or the little hills and valleys and little bits of fog and mist and rain. Absolutely stunning location. There's Simon, just giving a bit of colour to the scenery. But this is a fantastic hill. So it's 460 metres, so a decent sized foothill in the Banai Breceniog. But it's the views are worthwhile, so I wanted to come here because I know a lot of people camp on the Black Mountain, but I wanted to have views of it from a bit of a distance. So we've not had obviously the best views today, but you can see the potential. So I need to get this bag off, so I'm going to find a place to pitch a tent and crack open a cider. Oh, it's just about stopped raining, and it kind of rained a little bit whilst I was trying to inflate my sleep mat for what felt like an eternity. Hands are absolutely frozen now. They give it getting down to about 4 degrees tonight, so maybe slightly cooler up here on the hill. Views are absolutely lovely. So the sun has gone down. It is 10 to 9 now. So I'm using my inflatable chair. First time I've actually used it on a wild camp. It does make a real difference, especially with this kind of tent. It is pretty much perfect design for this kind of tent. And I've been looking forward to this for a very long time. Salisbury apple cider. Absolutely delicious. I don't have any food tonight. I've got a couple of like those nut date bar things in my bag. My brother's bought quite a lot of food, so I'll probably pilfer some of his. Although I'm fat enough as it is, I don't really need to eat any food, but we'll see. Let's just spot the rain again now. But we are pitched right next to the trig point. So we haven't seen a soul on the walk apart from those two fishermen. So we're not going to see them up here tonight. And just hopefully we get some nice views in the morning. So I'm going to kick back, enjoy this cider, steal some food, and just enjoy the absolute peace and solitude up here. Well, had a very relaxing evening, a couple of cans of cider, bit of food. Now I've managed to get inside the tent. It seems like there's decent interior space in this tent, but just not much of it's dedicated to the sleeping area, so trying to actually like get changed and into the sleeping bag is a bit of an effort. My boots did okay, but my feet did feel a bit damp, so I've taken my socks off, taken my trousers off as well because I have waterproof trousers on. Don't want to sleep in those. So I'm just going to see if my OEX Thermalite Plus 8 sleeping bag liner and my Sea to Summit Trek Free sleeping bag will be warm enough now without any socks or trousers or leggings or anything on, because they're in my bag somewhere, but I just can't be bothered trying to find them because I said the bag is in the porch, which is not ideal in my mind really. So I've think I've packed my thermal stuff in my waterproof dry bag back into the rucksack. I can't be bothered, but it is pretty chilly up here. I can see my breath and stuff, but yeah, I think I'm in a good sleeping bag. It's come rated to -5, and with the liner I've got on there as well, should be absolutely fine. My feet don't feel too cold now. They were just getting a bit cold earlier because obviously I was sat in my porch, my feet dangling out the end of the tent. There was a tiny bit of breeze going past to chill them out, so hopefully they'll warm up in the liner now. So I'm going to read my book, try and get some sleep, and hopefully 6 AM there'll be a decent sunrise and I'll get up for it. I'm going to ignore the forecast, which is just saying fog all night and fog all morning. I'm going to wake up to an amazing cloud inversion or something, I'm sure. It's not just going to be a complete foggy mess and I can't even see the Black Mountain. Anyway, I don't imagine there'll be any drama because there's absolutely no breeze tonight or anything like that. So I will see you in the morning. Away, as you can see, leaving no trace as always. Sadly, there was not really much of a sunrise this morning. Woke up for sunrise about 6 AM, looked out the tent and just quite thick fog. I could see the trig point that was close by, but the sun kept threatening to break through, and you'll see from the time lapse that it's far from being a complete clagged out and stuff, but sadly no real views of the Black Mountain this morning. You can just about see where they are with the clouds going over them, but no, a bit of a shame because say this whole camp was based around being on a hill with great views of the Black Mountain, but nonetheless what we did get is just an amazingly peaceful night. Slept really well. I'm definitely now learning about my personal comfort rating and stuff, and actually taking a sleeping bag that's kind of over-spec'd for the conditions is just the way forward in terms of staying warm and being comfortable. So I did sleep really well. So I was using the Ridge Col tent last night, which is basically the original version of the Bobcat, because Ridge are a Go Outdoors brand, so they used to make tents under it, but now obviously they only make tents under the OEX brand. So a few thoughts on it really. Incredibly easy to pitch, so it goes up really quickly because it's in and out of pitch together. In a little bit of rain it was absolutely perfect. It's just really simple to get up, single pole design, and then you've got a decent porch area as well. So yeah, nice little tent. The only downside I think really is just the inner space, because the back edge is so sheer. You just don't have much interior space in there, and I could see when I was moving around and stuff, if you try to sit up in that, my shoulder kept hitting the inner and pushing against the outer and stuff. So if it had been really heavy rain, that could have caused a few issues. But I don't know, I was convinced the tent would be like a one use and then get rid of it, but I don't know, it feels like it's a better tent than that. It feels like it's a good option to have on a rainy day because it pitches so quickly, so easily, and it's got out of pitch first. And a lot of my tents are in pitch first, so I think I'll probably hold on to it for the time being and get rid of some other tents instead. But no, slept really well. Could have stayed in bed much longer this morning, but you're going to get back to the car and get home. But going to do some more filming on the way down because it's quite atmospheric here this morning. Nice views, and certainly in that direction. Plenty of scenery to see and bits of mist and sun just breaking through now. Yeah, a really good camp, really peaceful. Still haven't seen anybody apart from those two fishermen on the reservoir yesterday, so yeah, a recommended spot to visit. Bit of absolutely stunning forestry walk. The sun just breaking through the really lush greens. kind of matches my day glow jacket. But it has been a really good little camp and walk. It was nice to do a good nearly 8-mile walk before we pitched the tents. I think I slept better as a result, having had a bit more physical exertion than usual on a camp. And hopefully it's planned so that we can get back to the car fairly quickly, so we get the sort of best of both worlds. But yeah, what a glorious morning for it. Leaving a positive trace, rescuing the tadpoles from a puddle that's going to dry up today, and put them into a ditch which shouldn't dry up. I mean, if he was really committed, he'd be hopping that fence and taking them into the reservoir, but he's not. Well, pretty much back to the car now, just over 2 miles back it was, so nearly 10 miles in total. So a good little adventure. Very peaceful camping spot. Just a bit of a shame that even though it's cleared up quite a lot now, didn't quite get the views of the Black Mountain I was hoping for. So maybe I'll revisit this spot again in future, camp on a different hill in this area. Or maybe next time just go direct to the Black Mountain itself and camp around there somewhere. But it's been a really enjoyable camp. Warm, comfortable, slept well. And I don't always say that about a camp. So yeah, not a very heavily visited part of the world, a bit out of the way, but well worth it if you're in Wales to come and visit this area. So Usk Reservoir, well worth walking around. A few little picnic benches here and there as well for breaks and stuff if you want to bring kids and that. But yeah, gonna leave it there. So if you made it this far, huge thanks for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.